If you had the opportunity to live in a children's wonderland, would you choose anywhere else? We don't just say, we do. It's the Stain City way.
Good day and welcome to Real Talk on SABC3, where the stage is yours. Two special guests joining me in studio today. They're both young, charting their own paths in the cutthroat music industry. But one thing they have in common is their music resonates with young and old people. Joining me right now is a young man who is pioneering what has become known as digital maskandi, with songs that bridge the gap between the old and the new generations. He is said to be part of a generation of artists taking our musical heritage into the future, ranking with the likes of Spook Matambo as well as OK Malum Cool Cat. Mashayabhuqe and Berita is in the building. Your name sounds like a weapon.
It's supposed to feel like that.
Because Ntsikelelo Ndlovu is who you are in your ID, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So how do we get to Mashayabhuqe and Berita?
It's when the boy is actually taking charge, like that teenager who comes from nothing or comes from a village, who's been struggling to construct in English sentences and stuff, and you feel me. But when it comes to arty vibes, like he comes, he's that guy, you know. Even if you went to all these nice schools, but you want to hang with him even if he's struggling, because you know he's got the sauce, you feel me? So it's one of those vibes. So Mashayabhuqe, my dad gave me that name because I was doing very well in school when it comes to art. I used to write stories.
So what does it mean, Mashayabhuqe?
It means gods of art.
Wow.
It means, just defeat everything and just like just be the one.
So Kamamba, is that your clan name?
Umamba, that's my great-grandmother who raised my father. So my dad my grandfather, Uhanyana, had like 3 wives. And then my biological grandmother broke up with my grandfather. So my grandfather had like books and stuff. He's like, I come from a family where it's like a biggest family, but nobody, like we wanna learn. We wanna know things. It's that happy family, that loud family. So my grand left.
Is this the grand that took you to the sketch?
No,
Which grand is that?
That's Muma Kuzwayo. That's from my mother's side.
So you say that's why you fell into arts?
Yes. Everyone was just like, it wasn't that conventional way of thinking for them. It's like they've seen it all, so they like, for our kids, wait, man, there must be more. There must be something like that.
So please can you explain what a sketch is? It like going to a theater?
It's
to plays, yes, like small theater.
It's sketches. I used to write sketches like my plays and perform them for the kids at school and make them pay 50 cents. I felt like 50 cents was like a lot of money. I remember this one time we made was it 129 bucks
from sketches?
So 129 rand. From that thing, from the sketch.
So you've always been artistic. It's just
I've always been moving with art. Like I love music. I love films. I love clothes. I love good clothes, and I love smelling good, man. You know, when you smell good, you
just mentioned the 3 typical things all Zulu men like: clothes, cologne, shoes.
Okay, cool. For me, bro, like it's like family first. And okay, God first. Family. I just be comfortable in your own skin when it comes to like how you interact with people. Like, do you understand who you?
Don't be threatened by what they are.
No, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like when you were like on radio and stuff, because I had this other gig, like this other TV gig, but I did music before that. You feel me? So it's like it's like you're keeping tabs with like all these influencers or celebrities and all of that. And for me, like my approach to music, it was never about wanting to be or wanting to become or wanting. It was like my life. Like even now, if you check out my Instagram, I'm doing me. Like it's my life. It's just like.
Did you ever try do something else that didn't resonate with you, where you were like, ish, this is not me? Because I know you dabbled in kwaito, but I mean, you strike me as somebody who would be comfortable in kwaito because you're artistic.
I can do anything, to tell you the truth. I feel like I can even, like, this is like looking at what Mambusi was doing and looking at what Tandiso came out with, like what she's about, and looking at what James Blake is doing, and looking at Justin Vernon, looking at Kanye. You feel me? I really don't. I can't limit myself.
Where do you get that from? Do you get that from your parents? That whole like, don't limit yourself, you can do anything? Because it comes from somewhere.
My dad, I got that from my dad actually. He messed me up. Like, my dad is like, oh, so you come back home, you've got this homework.
Yeah.
And you know I'm struggling with English too, but I get my things like, you know, he can get his way around, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
But he's been that guy who's like, if you don't know, just ask. Don't be scared to ask, because we come from like a small town, and looking at the system and
Emandeni.
Emandeni. Yes, we come from Emandeni, so I've been moving around all over KZN, from Emandeni to Eshowe, Oyaya, to Nkandla, KwaNxamalala, coming up to Durban and stay with my second mom, Umacaba. Yo, shout out to my mom. Where's my camera?
And there's your camera.
Yo, shout out to my second mom, Umacaba. And then moving up to Johannesburg with my best friend, Legend.
Do you know what's cute? Is someone asked you, you know, what's the most special thing that has happened to you this week? And this was when they were interviewing you. And you said, my dad called me, but he called me out of his own accord. Because usually, if I speak to him over the phone, it's because my mom is calling me and my mom gives him the phone.
Bro. It's always like
and
that,
now
bro.
He called you
it's always
himself.
Like
he
that.
was like, it's in phone elunsikele.
I felt like, I felt, because I just turned 30. So now, I think a lot, and then I take my time with things, you feel me? And I'm just looking at like how I grew up. Like it's kind of weird. It's like, it's amazing.
But why is it special that your dad
It's special because it's like norms and that thing of like being the Goonies, like the Zulus. You feel me? It's
but
like
it's not manly.
It's a thing of like, we were just talking about my friend yesterday about like giving your kid a hug. As simple as that, you feel me? So I've never had that. I always scared of my dad because he'll beat me up with cows. If I didn't get cows or you understand? It's like, go fetch the cows. And we didn't get them. Okay, were you playing soccer? No, we were not. We were looking for them. Where? And then in the morning, early in the morning, around 4 a.m., you'll wake up early and go look for them before you go to school. So I come from that system. Breaking out from that, coming to these universal vibes.
Oh, universal. Okay, hold that. Time for a quick ad break. More when we return with Mashayabhuqe, and he must tell us why he is the Zamalek Japan. Japan. And welcome back. If you've just tuned in, you're definitely in the right place. Hanging out with me this afternoon is the pioneer of digital maskandi, aka Maskandi Wasasantin, who has given the sound not only new flavor, but new meaning. So why are you called Zamalek Japan?
Zamalek Japan is that guy who makes traveling sounds. It's like you make sounds from Nkandla or from Nsuze, or but it gets to Shazam, it gets to Japan.
Okay,
You
so
feel me? So you have that power. It's a mentality. It's like, you feel me?
so why Japan? Does Japan fascinate you? Because I'll tell you why. For me, Japan made sense. It's because Japan is so, people are so forward and so digital and so technological, but they keep their culture.
It's the same thing as us. Not same isn't like yo, yafana. Yeah. But if you look at it like
The DNA.
thank you. It's like they're so forward, man. It's like looking at the fashion, looking at the toys, gadgets, everything, buildings, architecture, everything that they touch. It's amazing. It's like, wait, you guys are like us, because they short, all of them. They're like, and we're little short, like South Africans are like. So it was that, just playing around with that, and also trying to just like. And just like trying to keep it moving, man, and just make this thing work. Because for me, I wanna make sure that when I leave Earth, and then people know exactly why I was here. So
Do you feel like the things that happen in your head are like too much sometimes, and it's like not that you're tortured, but there's just so much happening in your head, and you want us to know about it, but you just don't know how you're gonna start.
No, it's a thing of like, my best friend said, success is in the knowing. That's legend Anele. He said, success is in the knowing. And then when you start like understanding exactly certain things about your surroundings and about like your goals and about, do you understand? It's like about people's behavior, about the things that you're into, food that you eat, I don't know, anything that you consume, you start now understanding and sort of like.
So what's the music creation process like for you? Because I know you don't write.
Yes, I don't.
You record voice notes and you freestyle, and then you check out your freestyle.
How do you know this thing? I record voice notes.
Because I'm a
and then I
stalker.
freestyle.
Okay, so but then before you have to spit it out, right? How does it formate here?
So I find scenarios, or I find situations first, but most of the time it's like when I'm cooking, or when I'm just in my house, like on my laptop, or I'm doing something, and then I'll just stop. But it's always, there's like melodies, like constantly there's like melodies, and it's like comes in big volumes and stuff, so you just have to tone it down and pick what you want, and just like do what you want to do with that. But for me, it's like every song has its own life. If you listen to Sun City Flow, if you listen to Kwatuguza, if you listen to Impendulo Gababa, if you listen to the new project Nguniversal, everything has a structure, you understand? Because I believe in the next 15 years, our country and in the music, everything, like how it looks, demographics, the kids, how we look, how everything that we do will be totally different. Right now, these 12-year, 16, 18-year-olds are so advanced, and they're on that next. It's just that we don't see them that much on TV. So you just rely on like their social media and stuff for the feeds, but there's so much happening in the streets.
Does it frustrate you that your music is a lot more received internationally than back home?
I feel like I've gotten to a point where it's like kind of like balanced kind of vibe for me.
Okay.
As the guy who serves the music. For me, I feel like it has balance a little bit, but I love South Africa, man. I don't wanna lie. Like, I even changed my Instagram handle to Mr. SA.
Auswe.
Yeah, Mr. South Africa. I don't have to walk on that, like, why? I'm not a model, so I can't do the ramp thing to become Mr. South Africa.
Okay.
You're playing me, bro. Like,
tell me about what I would say was your best moment on stage, Back to the City, where no one knew you, and you got on stage, and by the time you were done, everybody wanted to know you.
Yes. That was amazing. That was amazing. I felt like it was just a beautiful moment, and then everything was just aligned, you know. Energies, because I'm an energy person, you feel me?
Yeah,
So
I
I
can see
don't
that.
really talk to a lot of people, and I'm aware of my space, and then you understand, it's that thing. But I'm happy. I'm a happy person at the same time. But that moment, that Back to the City performance was sort of like making. It was like a stamp. There's Mashaya, and he exists, and then it's like, if you like him, you like him. If you don't, but yo, he's here. I don't know how. But
What
yeah.
changed for you after that day?
What changed for me? I started getting calls. Kevin called. Kevin came through. He came through. I was working at this other TV production company. He came like 2 weeks. And Shayla, dog, like, yo, let's work.
Spading you, saying, come, let's
But
get
it was-
into a relationship.
At that time, like, we getting calls from Sony. Yo, we getting calls from Babs Tole. Yo, shout out to Native. We getting calls from Cash Time. Yo, shout out to Cash Time. We getting calls from. It was just like too much. It was just amazing. I don't wanna lie. Like, there's a lot of people that reached out, but.
Why did you go with Kevin? And Kevin is your manager, your record label head, right? Why did you go with him?
Kevin is my partner. It's a business. I'm a boss, Anele.
You're a boss.
You feel me?
You're a boss.
I think like a boss. I might not have this money, might not have that building or whatever, but I was trained, or I was programmed in a way that it's only you. There's only one Anele on earth. There's only one Anele Mdoda on earth. And all these blessings and powers that they gave you, what you gonna do with that? I'm not saying I just like be amazing at everything, but I'm just saying it's like, I'm human, I still make mistakes, I still do all the messed up things there and there, do you understand? I'm human, so I'm just living my life, but it's a thing of like, hey man, I'm here, and I love this art thing, man, and I'm gonna make sure that it's not even like I need a certificate, like I need you to say this so that this guy gets this, or I need you. We've stopped doing favors. I don't do favors. But
listen, I think you're so weird, and I flippin' love it. Like,
I'm
you're like so different. You're so refreshing.
I'm this guy.
You're this guy.
In my house, outside, you'll find me at Starbucks. I'm not hiding out. Like, bro, like,
This is you, man.
bro, I'm being serious. I'm not acting. I'm not playing a part. This is not, hey, there's Mashaya. Ooh, Mashaya now. Yo, give Mashaya makeup now. Ooh, give Mashaya this now. I'm just like this, bro. Like, and this is not to say if you living your life in your way, that's your personal
That's just
choice.
you.
And I'm happy with that. And I'm not saying don't do this, don't do that, don't smoke, don't have 25 girlfriends if you, bro, like just be fresh and do whatever you want to do. But I'm here making music that I love. It's called Digital Maskandi, and I've got a new project out. It's called Universal.
Good Universal, and that's how we wrap it up. Go and find him, Mashayabhuqe and Berita. His music is available for downloads on digital music stores. Time for a quick ad break. When we return, I will be joined by another superstar musician whose hit song Thanda Lwethu was played in major music chart shows and resonated with many young South Africans and old ones as well. We'll see you in a bit. Come back to us. And welcome back, and thank you for staying with Real Talk right here on SABC3. Joining me now is a multi-award-winning, gold-selling Afro Soul singer and songwriter, Berita, who is proving to be one of the most important new voices of our generation in the Afro Soul genre. She has represented South Africa at the Nelson Mandela celebrations in 2015 and recorded Mwana wa Mai with Hugh Masekela and Oliver Mtukadzi. She is back with a bang, having released her third self-titled album, Berita, produced by multi-award-winning jazz guitarist Kunle Ayo, as well as Mojalefa Mjakes. It features collaborations with Trezor, Linda Gwenza, and Yvonne Shaka Shaka, whom she says is her mother's favorite musician, right?
Yes.
So wasn't it a trip to record with your mother's favorite musician?
It was amazing. And first of all, Mami Yvonne Shaka Shaka tweeted me first. That's how we met.
Don't joke.
So we had, I think, been to events together, but never really gotten introduced. And then she tweeted me when I was performing at some radio stations, like, oh, ngiyamthanda lo mntwana, oh, listening to my favorite track, Thando Lwethu. And then from there, I tweeted back, DM'd her, asked her to follow me. And I was like, Mama, I'm in studio working on my album. Is it possible in Diobana you can come through? But yes, mtanam, come to my house. And just like that.
And just like that, history was made.
Yeah.
My sister and I call you the still water of the industry. Because, you know, it's not moving, it's not fast, it just stands still, but it always delivers.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that assessment of you?
I actually would agree. I remember in Kolweni, I used to get I was very good at school. But my report used to always come and say steady. I was always getting better, but steadily. And I was thinking about it and looking at the past 5 years and just being like, actually, that's how I've been doing it in this industry as well.
It's like a steady climb. It's like a steady climb. And for me, that's very Sade, right?
Yeah.
Because you could...
you couldn't have said it any other way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because Sade, in my mind, is the most steady when it comes to musicians.
Yeah.
She'll go away for 10 years and then she'll give you a song and it's enough.
And it's enough. She'll go on tour and sell out.
Right? So that's where you are.
That's definitely where I am. Sade, Mami Yvonne Shaka Shaka.
Okay, so now you can understand my surprise when I found out you are not Xhosa. I am depressed. I need counseling. I need a hug. What do you mean you're not Xhosa?
So, okay, originally most in the Zimbabwe.
Don't say most like I'm supposed to know that. I didn't know that.
Originally, I'm from Zim. I was born in Bulawayo, and I grew up there, raised by my parents. My parents were teachers.
Yeah.
And they were teachers far in the outskirts of a place called Kwekwe and a place called Jombe.
Okay.
And my grandmother stayed with me in Bulawayo, so I would always, either be at my grandmother's or dear Jombe. And then when I was 16, my parents moved to New Zealand to work there as dairy farmers. And I still had no idea that I was going to come to South Africa. It's only after I finished high school, and because my parents were still on work permits, studying there would have cost an arm and a leg. Okay. Let me come back home, and I found a place to study in the Eastern Cape, and I never knew that I was going to fall in love with the place, the people, the language, the heritage, the culture.
This is another thing. It's like you were not young when you moved to the Eastern Cape.
No.
And they say you pick up languages easier when you're a child.
Exactly.
But it's Xhosa, babes. It's you. It's who you are.
I don't even know how it happened. And it's the year 2011 when I first moved to the Eastern Cape with my guitar and suitcase. That's the year when I wrote most of my songs. So what I would really do is, at the time, I was learning Xhosa because I'm Ndebele, which is Angoni language.
They're neighbors.
Yeah. So when I wrote this song called Notyatyambo, I was literally learning how to pronounce the word Notyatyambo.
Yeah. I remember there was a child in our school, her name was Notyatyambo, but her mom was white and her dad was Xhosa, right? And her mom couldn't say her name. Like, Nokakambo, Nokakambo. You're like, oh, no, lady, no. It's Notyatyambo. But
just say flower.
Just say pretty little flower. So you get to Walter Sisulu University and you fall in love with the culture of Xhosa people, and that's where you write your music.
And also remember, Walter Sisulu is a historically disadvantaged university. So there's a lot of students that come from deep in the Transkei.
Yes.
So okay, I think that also made me pick up because like they don't speak English. You're gonna have to learn. You know, you're gonna have to learn Xhosa and you're gonna have to learn quickly. I remember the first time someone said "Chopapa," and I didn't know what
They were saying sit
Chopa,
here.
sit down. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, that's deep Xhosa, hey. Chopa.
And Tobazana didn't Chopapa.
But here's the thing, which would have made your journey there a little bit more difficult, is the fact that you look Xhosa.
Exactly. That's another thing.
So if I had run into you in the corridors of Walter Sisulu University, I'd also be like, Chopa, and then if you looked at me funny, I'd be like, okay, uzanza bhetele kanenelo.
Even when I moved to Joburg, everywhere I go, even people that don't know, you know, that I'm Berita,
Yeah.
they'll say Molo sis.
Yeah, you have the look. You have the look.
So I think I consider myself an adopted Eastern Cape girl, and I'm very much like aware and very much aware of the blessing that I have because I received a lot of support when I started. And when I won my first award, which was the Metro Award, people didn't know who Berita was, but ask East London, everyone had been voting. So I'm really very grateful for that.
So, because you're quite good academically, like you said as well.
Yeah.
When does the choice happen between, you know, academics and degrees and music?
I think when I moved overseas, I was 16, and it was a whole different turn. We moved to down south, Invercargill, which is New Zealand is literally one farm after the next. If you want to go see your neighbor, you literally have to walk like 2 kilometers.
Okay.
So I think that background, and it was just too much for me. And Eskolwe and me and my sister were the first 2 African kids to go to the school. They would touch our hair, they would ask us strange questions, and I never really fit in. And it's at that time that I really started to have a voice, and first and most, I missed home, Ubuntu, Africa.
Yeah.
And I started to just want to be special, to have a voice, to inspire other, you know, African girls, you know, because I didn't have the confidence at the time. I didn't have that thing that, you know, when I walk like this. And I felt like it was deep inside, but I couldn't see it outside because of my environment. And that's when I really was like, I have to do something. And then music came.
Did you teach yourself how to play a guitar?
Yeah.
Okay, because you never went for training.
I never went for training. I started because we lived in a farm. I started talking to my parents about the whole singing thing. It didn't sit well with them.
Because they're too academics.
Yeah. So, but on weekends we would milk cows. That's how we made pocket money. So again, I took my pocket money from milking cows, bought myself a guitar, locked myself in my room, and practiced.
In 2014, she moved to Johannesburg to further her music career. She released Songs of Empowerment and the Metro FM award-winning album Conquering Spirit. Her hit single, Thando Lwethu, became an anthem for many who believe in love. After the break, we take a look at her musical journey from her student days at Walter Sisulu University. Come back. And we're back. I'm joined in studio by the multi-award-winning musician who accidentally found herself pursuing a career in music. While her second album didn't make the mark she wanted, she is now back with a bang with a new self-titled album. Thando Lwethu hitmaker, she is my guest today. Here's a taste of her. Who is Thando Lwethu about?
So, oh God. Thando Lwethu is one of my very close friends, Busisiwe Smith's ex-boyfriend and baby daddy.
Okay.
So I met Busisiwe when in 2011, when I was starting out. I used to perform at clubs, school events, community events, hospitals, all around East London. And what used to happen is I also used to perform at shows at night and soul club sessions. But the closing time was 10 o'clock. So if you left at 9 with your guitar, you couldn't come back at 11 after your show.
So you'd have to come back the next day?
So you have to come back. I don't know why I never arranged. What I always used to do is get to an event, find another girl and ask them, so can I sleep over? That's literally how I got around it for a whole year.
What a hustler!
Yeah. So this one particular night, okay, we get to Mtanzane, I think Mtanzane Sports Center.
Yeah.
And I was playing with a jazz band there. And I met this girl, Busisiwe Smith, who's a singer. I think she was singing also with this jazz band. I also had a couple of songs that I was going to do as the front singer with them. And then Chomi, so quickly, make friends very quickly.
Yeah.
And then it turns out at the time she was a school teacher and she was living in Mtanzane, a very young girl, in her early 20s. And then I ended up sleeping over at her house and we ended up just jamming the whole night.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
Thandoloetu came out of that.
So the song was about her,
The song was
man.
about her.
And
I
then,
had already written, so how I write songs, I take quite some time. I'll have like a guitar line and a melody. So I already had like a melody, but my melody was not about Uthandoloetu or pulling Nhliziyo. She literally breathed her own story into the song.
do you find that people come up to you and they've got their own interpretations about what the song is?
I think a lot of people come up to me and like, some have kids called Thandoloetu, named literally after the song.
Beautiful.
That is the most beautiful thing.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, that's always very heart touching for me. And then some people have, they'll say, no, that song made me get over this and that. Or I'll have Dala come up to me and be like, yo, that song, this is what was happening in my marriage. People just from all walks of life come up with a different story.
So I understand you've written a book. Well, you've not,
Yeah.
40,000 words of it. So it's
Yeah.
not complete, but there is
No.
this book that was being penned.
No.
Why has the book never been completed?
So I started, it was during that time when I was still trying to figure out how to express my voice. I wrote, and I remember back and forth with publishers, but it needed more words and more depth. And I was like, but this thing that I'm trying to say here in 40,000 words, I can say it in a song. So that's how then music was like, okay, no, let me sing, let me try it out.
So you're still writing, but would you ever carry on like writing and actually write a book?
Yes, I would.
But that's something that's in your path.
I love reading. I would definitely write a book.
What do you wish you knew when you were 20 years old in the industry that
God.
you know now?
Oh no, a lot. So my plan was I was going to finish a school or a wusu,
Yeah.
move to Joburg, get a job at a publishing house or recording label, learn about the industry, then get in. What
Yeah.
actually happened is on my first visit to Joburg, I was on the bus at 6 o'clock. You know how?
Yeah, no, I know this. There's a bus and there's foil with chicken inside.
It leaves 6 p.m. in the Eastern Cape and gets here at 6 a.m. in the morning.
If it doesn't get stuck in Montrose.
Exactly.
I know this, don't worry, I know.
So as we were getting into Joburg, I'm like, this city is too big, man. I gotta make it before I get here. That was the whole thinking behind it. But before I knew it, literally that same holiday, it was the August holidays,
Yeah.
I went back to school with a recording contract.
How?
Because, well, I visited extended family, my uncle, and my uncle knew someone who was in the industry, who ended up taking me to a radio interview. And from that radio interview, a lot of people called in, oh, Cula Kamnandi Sana, when is the album coming? And then from there, I was taken to a record label and they're like, come on Thursday, we're signing you.
And then you got signed. So
And
why
then I
why
got-
go back to the Eastern Cape if you signed?
I was still a student. I was a first-year student.
Wow. Okay.
I'd only been in South Africa for like 8 or 9 months.
So how do you tell your parents that you signed?
I don't. Instead, I take my mom, stage my mom's real name, Berita,
Yes.
and use it as my stage name. And then my uncle sends them an album because they're still in New Zealand. And my mom is like, since when did I start singing? And then from there, I earned their trust and blessings, and the rest is history.
Now they're your biggest fans. Yeah. So, but you haven't answered me, because I just want one thing that you wish you had known when you were 20 years old, that you know now.
So much, like just how the industry works, but actually, more than anything, confidence. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about confidence? That you what, fake it,
Just
where to get it?
where to get it.
Where do
Yeah,
you get it now?
From God.
Okay.
You know, just, like a cup that you can drink from that never runs out.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you so many times that industry.
Yo.
And I was still very young, and I'm a Cancerian, and I'm very emotional. Now I understand that. So I used to cry about everything.
Like what? Like I don't have a dress to wear and then you cry?
Like my show is running late, because my drama has not pitched when I started doing my own shows. And people are waiting. People have been waiting for 2 hours.
And you just cry?
And I'm like, ruin my makeup. And then I had, obviously disagreements with my record label that I worked with for my first 2 albums.
Yeah.
Because clearly, obviously, I hadn't, done the rights. I hadn't had the contract legally checked out. I just signed. And, I remember literally writing exams after exams. I would be back and forth with lawyers, and I'm just grateful that I was able to get out of that situation amicably and learn from that. Yeah.
Oh, man, you're so soft. I just want to protect you. I just don't want to hug you and protect you. Listen, time for a quick ad break. After we come back, I have 22 random questions that I want to put to Miss Berita over here. Make sure you stay tuned for this one. It's gonna be fun. And we're back in studio with me, multi-award winning Berita, who has just released her highly anticipated self-titled album, Berita. And now I'm about to ask her the 22 random questions that I promised you, but let's get another bit of her. So it took you 2 years to produce your latest album, right?
Yeah.
Why? Why so long?
Because as a woman, I had to grow. When I worked on the first album, like Uthando Lwethu is a song about my friend's experience in love and in life.
Yeah.
And I think to this day, I still just marvel at how beautiful I portrayed the story. But it only hit me 2 years later. It took me about 3 years to understand the pain of that song and be like, oh, so this is what I'm singing about.
Oh, okay. So when it finally makes sense to you, then you're like, yee.
I was like, do
you find it easy to write music for other artists?
Up to this point, I write a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping to write for other artists.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I've only just written for myself.
Because that's the similarity I see between you and Trey Soul, is that you guys are writers.
Oh yeah.
You guys are
Yeah.
writers. Was that the meeting of minds that resulted in you guys working together?
Absolutely, absolutely. I found that Nanje, his story as an African boy who's coming from another part of the world is very interesting, and also as a Zimbabwean girl as well. And just having perspective, I think, makes you a good writer.
And when you won the award in 2015, the Songwriter of the Year,
Oh, yeah.
was that like a...
That was a big one. That was a big one. And I think even with my new album, a lot of the comments I've been getting is in Tiobana, lyrically, you've grown. And I think for me, there's so many opportunities. I even want to get into a situation whereby I encourage other young writers.
Oh, good.
Because I don't think that South Africa has really embraced songwriters. Overseas, there are artists that don't sing on stage. They just write music.
Yeah.
But they make their bread and butter and so much more just from that.
And you know, they'll always be paid.
Exactly.
They'll always
That's
be
the
paid.
thing.
That's the thing about being a writer internationally.
Yes.
It's the guy from One Republic, Ryan Tedder.
You know, and to this
Beyonce,
day,
Adele, everyone, he writes for them.
and to this day, I'll tell you, me, obviously with Thando Lwethu, I co-wrote with someone. So she earns, I earn. And I still make most of my money from writing that song. And think of how many amazing, young, talented writers there are out there. And if only they knew how to, what are the channels, more than just being an upfront singer, more than just giving someone else ideas.
Yeah, because at times, you write music, but you think you have to perform it yourself to make it. So then they keep the music, and we never get it from them because they're shy. I don't want to be on stage, but so you want to open that platform and be like, you can't just be a writer and make money and be fine.
And I've had situations whereby I've pitched to singers to be like, hey, actually, I'm working on this, because some people are just great singers, but in terms of writing, it's not really their strength. Yeah.
Please, I hope you're successful with that one. Let's go into this game. I'm going to ask you 22 random questions. Answer quickly and honestly, please.
All right.
Do you make your own bed?
Yes.
I mean,
do.
you milked cows. Of course you make your own bed.
Of course I do.
The first car that you officially owned?
A Chevrolet Spark.
3 grocery items that you cannot ever run out of?
Avocado, brown rice, and juice.
Okay. When did you start doing your own laundry?
When I was 16.
Right after she milked the cows. If you could, would you do high school all over again?
I would. I would be so much more confident. I would embrace my melanin. Yeah.
But I mean, when you're in a high school full of white people, sooner or later you think there's something wrong with you. I see what you were going through. Can you parallel park in 3 moves?
No.
Even with the Chevy Spark? It's this big.
I know.
It's like...
I avoid parallel parking.
Me too. I don't go to Parkhurst because of that. I'm just like, I need a mall with parking that is straight up.
I'm going to park there.
Okay, a job you had which people would be shocked to know about?
Well, it would probably be milking cows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think aliens are real?
No.
Can you drive a manual car? Of course you can.
Yes, of course I can.
What is the one TV show that you're guilty about watching and loving?
Yo, I don't watch much TV.
Really?
It's bad.
When you do?
I love your show.
Hey.
I think you're the future.
Oh,
I really do.
Oh, yeah. Don't make me cry. Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
Too hot.
Really?
I lived in New Zealand. It's cold. I lived
yeah.
down south. I never want to do that again.
Okay. If the world ends, do you want to be one of the survivors? To tell everyone else who comes next what happened?
Yes, definitely.
Write a song about it. Do you consider yourself to be strong?
I do. I am, but because I'm Cancerian again, soft as well.
Something people do that drives you crazy?
Lack of communication. I hate it.
And Cancerians are good at communicating.
Yeah.
My little sister's Cancerian, and she never leaves any stone unturned.
No.
If there's a problem in the house, we must all sit down.
No.
And we must talk about it. And I avoid those things. I'm like, hey man, it'll sort itself out. And she's like, no, we're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna sing Zonke's song. We're gonna talk about feelings.
Okay, do you have... Oh, you kill me. Do you have any birthmarks?
I do. I think I have one on my face. But you can't see it because of the fleek.
Oh, okay. Your favorite childhood game besides milking cows?
This game, I don't know what it's called. We used to play it in the village, a zombie. Like you throw stones in the air.
Mapati.
Yes.
What's it called? Say it. Black Mapatela. Yeah, I know exactly. Then you throw it, and then you must take one. Then you must take 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I was terrible at it. Do you talk to yourself?
Oh, I do a lot. It's bad.
What do you say to yourself?
A lot of things. I'm my own best friend.
Okay.
Yeah, and I live alone, so I can literally just go about and talk to myself. And I've had moments where I'm around people, and people are like, "Ee."
Okay. Would you go on a reality TV show?
No.
Survivor?
Maybe Survivor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's like...
Not those ones where they lock you up and like...
Okay.
Not those kind of ones.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
And if you had all the money in the world, what is the first thing you would buy?
I had all the money in the world. Yo, I'd buy a retirement home for my parents.
Oh, so that they can just rest.
You must just stop milking now.
Enough with
Too
the
much.
cows.
Yeah, enough with the cows.
Oh, you are such a calming spirit.
Thank
we
you.
wish you the best. We cannot wait for you to come back and perform some of your songs for us. All right.
Yes.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
We absolutely adore you. And that's all we have time for. Isn't she just so calming? I feel like I'm a better person for having spoken to her. We'll see you again next time. Real Talk with Anele right here on SABC3. Bye-bye.